Okay, this is Birchen Edge, just heading up to where the main rocks are. But this is, to all intents and purposes, been left. There's an awful lot of bracken, but there's an awful lot of trees. All these trees are going to provide more cover, and you can hear bird song. You can't hear a bird song or a great deal of bird song on the big edges unless it's the moorland birds like the ravens and the crows and the curlews. Here the birds like the meadow pipits and the black caps and the wrens, maybe they'll move in up here because they're getting tree cover. It's beautiful, and this is an edge. Look at this, absolutely amazing. We have woodland. Not just barren moor with dying heather. We have woodland. Absolutely extraordinary. I have a photo up here from 4 or 5 years ago. Beautiful snow-covered ground, but there was nothing on the ground. No tree cover at all. Now look at it. Absolutely extraordinary. Another 10 or 15 years and you'll be walking through woodland. Right, this is just a walk down from Birchen Edge down to where I've parked my car. It's mainly for my own record, which is what a lot of YouTube videos that I put on are for. 20 years time, when I'm an old man, hopefully YouTube will still be up, and when I'm stuck at home feeling a bit lonely and left out and grumpy, I can just put on these videos and have a quick look. So this takes us down to the little crossroads where up goes to Sheffield, down goes to Baslow, left takes you to Chesterfield, well right takes you to Chesterfield, and left will take you over to Kerber Gap. It's a handy place to park if you want to walk up here and avoid Robin Hood car park, which is fine, but if you do it regularly, you don't want to keep on paying £3 or £4 every time. I really should rejoin the National Trust. So this is quite a good descent down. It's quite established. It's not on the map, but it's a good established path that gets you onto the little track that takes you back to the crossroads. I'm wearing a pair of Innovate rock lights, which are very, very lightweight but extremely grippy boots made by the people who do fell running shoes. They've had a history in the past of really poor quality soles that detach and poor workmanship, but I took a punt on these for about 70-80 quid, which is not that expensive these days for boots, and they've stood up really well. I've had them for 3 or 4 months, and I'm not saying they still look brand new, but they're in really good nick. But they're extremely light. It's like wearing a pair of slippers. Well, extremely grippy and useful slippers. No real support for the ankle, but that's to be expected. They're literally posh running shoes with more ankle protection but very little ankle support, so you need reasonably strong ankles to actually wear them on rocky terrain. So now we're on the flat, so I'm less likely to fall over and break my neck. Some beautiful mature birches around here, silver birch. The rivulets in these rocks, a lot of people call them knuckles because on a lot of stones, particularly the ones say around Birchen Edge, they look like hands with knuckles. There's a knuckle stone on one of the little dinky edges at the front of Birchen Edge, Carhead Rocks, and the hand does look like the rock does look like a hand or a boxing glove or something like that. And I swear every time I go there, the rock's moved in some way. That's probably just me being paranoid. Not sure what Mr. Crow's hunting for, but he's picking up something. Not sure if it's bugs or insects. But he's stopping, he definitely wants to stay close to the path to pick something up. He's big, he is. He's not quite raven sized. Look at his beak actually. Is that a raven? That's a raven. Beautiful. Yeah, this looks like it's a prime area for ticks. But I think you're less likely up around Birchen Edge to get them because there's no livestock. Normally you get them around where there's a lot of sheep and deer. Obviously then they're biting the sheep, they're staying on the sheep, staying on the deer, sucking the blood, reproducing in the normal way. Down here it's walled and fenced off, so no sheep really are on this area of land. I think it's probably a nature reserve, but I could be wrong with unless I check the map. But it's prime tick area, but I reckon we're relatively safe. Don't know if anyone knows any better. I normally am wary of sheep ticks in areas where I can see sheep, because if you don't have an environment for a tick to actually feed and mate and reproduce, then you're not going to get ticks. The main vector, I think they call it the vector, the main vector for sheep ticks is sheep and deer. If there aren't any, then there's not going to be a huge amount of them. Watch this, I'm going to get home and find 3 or 4 ticks in my various crevices now I've said all that. But yeah, I just normally go with how much livestock's on the land. If there's not much, then I'm relatively safe. Yeah, just a little bit about what I said further up. I'm mainly making these videos for myself. The maximum amount of people I get who view the pages is normally about 10, 15, very few. Don't get any likes, I think people find them quite boring. But as I say, when I get older, I'm less able to get out and about, hopefully in a long time, but when I get to that point, it'll be nice to look back at them as a document or a history of what I've done and the little bits of hiking I've done and the places close to home I've been. The majority of places I go to are only about half a mile away from where I actually live. And I'll literally sit at home on my computer on Bing Maps, which has got Ordnance Survey maps to really good detail, and have a look and place a point on the map, send it to my GPS, and off I'll go. This area here, which is Birchen Edge area, I know like the back of my hand. I've been here constantly since I moved up here to live with Rachel. About, how long would it be? About 13, 14 years. But there's other places in the Peak District that I've never been to, and they just constantly amaze me. Absolutely amaze me. It's a beautiful place. I'd urge anyone to come and have a look. there are issues with the Peak District, with the visitors to the Peak District, specifically things like people lighting barbecues and destroying acres and acres of moorland, people not respecting the place, but the majority of people who come here and the majority of the land and the majority of the park is beautiful. Not as spectacular as the Lake District, not as rolling as the North York Moors, not as foresty as the New Forest, but the Peak District is unique. It really is. And even if you only come here once, it's worth coming and going to the places, going to Birchen Edge, going and have a look at Kinder Scout, go and have a look at the villages, go and have a look at the White Peak, go and have a look at Dovedale on a weekday when there's not too many people there producing too much mess. Go and have a look at the Roaches and go and have a look at Hencloud. Beautiful place. And this is me back at the road where I'm parked. So Roy, 20 years time you'll be looking at this and thinking, what the hell is he droning on with? Well, I'll stop.